So a friend of mine always quotes this quote that I always quote. You can get anywhere with imagination. Yes, today we're going to talk about imagination, but not in the broad spectrum because imagination is too big for that. We're talking about algebra, geometry, and calculus. Yep, we're talking about daydreaming in class, which can be good or bad depending on your view. Freud described daydreaming as a sort of escape, an escape from everyday chores, everyday necessary chores, into a world of wishful fulfillment. But to me, daydreaming is fantastic and imaginative. It's like sleeping, but you're in control and you remember it. And a really big one is ideas come from daydreams. And like magic, you have things like The Truman Show, or To Kill a Mockingbird, or the album 2112, or The Locomotive, anything really. And if you can control it, it's sort of like a brainstorm. You start to question everything in sight. You're so bored you start to bend the normality into something really truly fascinating. And no show does it better than this little Nickelodeon show in the 90s called The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Okay, wait. Please stay with me. I'm not going to glorify it in a nostalgic sense and say something along the lines of, only 90s kids understand. No, I was 16 when I saw this, so the nostalgic factor doesn't really truly come into play. I'm going to say this show has more clever wit than Seinfeld and Louie. It digs deeper than an abstract painting, but is clear in every aspect. And it has this balance in every aspect of storytelling. So, what does this show have to do with daydreams? Well, all of it. The show centers around two brothers, Pete and Pete, and their adventures in their hometown of Wellsville. It's ordinary on face value, but stretches the boundless power of imagination. Like my favorite episode, called Don't Tread on Pete. On face value, it's a story about Pete, who doesn't know that there's a history test, and all throughout lunch can't decide to study or cheat. Well, in the way they present it, it's really a metaphor of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In the literal sense, too. Not only is he remembering battles of Bunker Hill and Fort Ticonderoga, he's fighting a moral battle of cheating. The good man never cheats to the top. We cannot have that on our conscience. No one can. But if he cheats, he's doomed to repeat history. And not just the class, but to repeat what the only person who failed Mrs. Beardsley's class went through. We also follow in this story Pete, who, on face value, is playing a game of dodgeball. Playing, or at war.
We're bigger and better and stronger than these scalawags. We should be crushing them. What is the problem?
We're trying, sir, but they keep moving. We've never seen this strategy before.
George Washington lost many battles, but he wanted what Pete wanted. Give me liberty or give me death. And other than metaphors of the Revolutionary War, this show had what we all daydream to have. Our own personal superhero.
For I am Artie, the strongest man! For the world!
And how did we envision this superhero? Super speed? Sure. Super strength? Sure. But what about those unique things that they had that you personally added? Summoned by the power of funk music?
I knew this song would attract Artie, the strongest man in the world, like a giant funk magnet. And sure enough...
Music of the gods! I'm live, George Clinton!
Good. Only weakness is the whammy bar? Great.
Powers! Useless! Growing! Weaker! Clark! Clark! No, I'm sorry, my little reptile friend.
You know this turtle?
Know him? Know him! Clark, tell the boy about Paris. You, me, Hemingway, the shiny tugboat.
Brilliant. A good imagination has a whole world of bright and interesting characters. So, for characters, what does Pete and Pete have to offer? How about the mom who has a metal plate in her head and can pick up radio signals? The dad who will do anything to be king of the road? Or how about Pete's best friend Ellen, who goes above and beyond to play the part of the Doc?
Hi, Pete.
What are you doing?
Going over the third movement of the Prussian battle hymn. James Jr. says that instead of drums, the percussionists used to use live hand grenades.
Neat.
Or my favorite character,
Welcome aboard the Yellow Fever. I am your captain, driver Stu Benedict.
who isn't really coping well with a breakup.
We will be cruising at a speed of 55 miles an hour, moving swiftly away from the twisted wreckage of my shattered life.
Even side characters. That right there, that's Michael Stipe. Yes, that's Michael Stipe of REM as an ice cream salesman. That's LL Cool J as an elementary teacher. That's Steve Buscemi. And that's a doll of Steve Buscemi. And right there, that's the king of punk, Iggy Pop. What about other imaginative stories? What if there was an all-out war for equality in the swimming pool? What if there's more to life than approving underpants?
Mom? Dad? This is a friend of mine, Inspector 34.
Inspector 34, yeah. And I am
Don Wrigley, 37 stout, down from 38.
Sure, these ideas are childish. Yes, it's apples, yeah, easy. But sometimes we need the mindset of a child from time to time. Sure, yeah, these things that are intended for kids exceed the power of imagination. You got a kitty?
Thank you.
Oh, that's scary.
That's Mr. McFeely. You're welcome.
Meow.
I'd like to give you something. This is an apple. Before it's juice, it's an apple. That's right. Would you like to have two?
And they use that to be really, truly serious. Pete and Pete deals with sibling feuds, heartbreak.
Coming up next, the hardware store where we used to buy our weather stripping.
Love.
Love is a many splendid thing.
And parting ways, My Little Viking. Sure, we have many things that are considered mature, like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Manhattan. But does that really place them above, say, Winnie the Pooh or The Secret of NIMH? But you know this. We all cry at every single Pixar movie.
People knowing it.
But why is that?
And without asking
Yeah, is he?
them. King Friday's
birdie?
crown is missing.
The floaty
And
bird?
so is the Westwood
What
town
cheese?
sign.
What cheese?
Let's make
That's a
believe that
cheeseburger,
the
yeah.
king's talking about
It's got
it
eyes,
with
his name is
niece,
Bergie.
Lady Aberlin, as the trolley goes to the neighborhood of Maple.
Eyes, mouth. It's the human experience, and
is?
these writers are adults, and so that means they experienced childhood already. And we can all relate because we've all gone through it. Even if you're going through it right now, you share the same experience, no more nor less than everybody else. What I'm getting at is I want you to expand your so-called limitations of imagination. Just be seriously goofy. Woo!